Oh, hey there. Sorry, just wandering off a bit here. It is Friday, November. Oh, it's the 20th. My calendar over there still says the 19th, but I'm pretty sure it's the 20th because I looked at another calendar. So, boy, I've had a lot of songs running through my head, and one of them was just like on the forum. I mean, somebody came up with a great suggestion the other day, or maybe just today. I can't remember. Uh-oh. Doesn't sound right. Must be capoed. Let me see if I can whip this out. Ah. That's it. Well, I love this tune, and I appreciate the fact that somebody brought it up and said we should do a lesson on it. It's pretty basic. One of my all-time favorite albums, Quah, Jorma Kaukonen. And I think Genesis is the opening piece, as I recall, which is something like that. Pretty sure it's a lot like that, because I think there was a time I used to play it. Oh, no, it was my friend Rich that used to play it. But anyway, it was... so, great suggestion. I'm sure, I don't know if I'll get that done in the December calendar yet or not, because I'm trying to squeeze out a bunch of Christmas tunes, you know? And we'll get to this week's releases in a bit. The big thing I want to tell people is we've officially we're not going to try to do camp in April. If anybody's thinking about guitar camp, it's September 13th. But the good news obviously on the horizon is on the health front. It looks like things are picking up, and that's really encouraging, because we're hoping that people will be ready to travel by fall, maybe even by summer. So let's see. I think I only have those two quick announcements. Oh, that was it. I wanted to tell you about, we've gotten a couple of reviews lately, and can't remember. So I was really glad to see somebody put up, Mark put up Nothing Else Matters, got to a review of that. And then I see that we have in the pipeline, haven't been able to look at the whole thing yet, but we got an upload of Classical Gas, and I just saw the first few seconds of it, and looked really good. So we'll have that rolling by next week, I think, too. So okay, be back in a second to talk about this week's stuff. I had a lot of fun putting that together. I mentioned last week that had been listening to a lot of different versions of Pictures at an Exhibition, and boy, I listened to one of the orchestral ones that just didn't grab me the other day. The piano ones really do, and the solo guitar one, you have to be in the right mood to watch that. To watch Kazuhiro Yamashita, it's intense, not for the faint of heart, but still pretty amazing and interesting. But I am working on a little bit more of that. But I was glad to get to what I'm basically trying to say is the Great Gate at Kiev has always been it reminds me a little bit of Jerusalem, the tune that I did a lesson on, I don't know, 6-8 months ago, something like that. And it's this big grandiose kind of thing. And of course, both were done by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. So we built up our Emerson, Lake and Palmer repertoire a little bit, I guess. And I think when I mentioned that it was the first thing I was doing from Pictures at Exhibition, I thought, oh, wait a second. No, we did Greg Lake's. There's a lesson on his tune, The Sage. Don't. I had to be back to E. Well, anyway, I should mess around with that again. I haven't played that in many years, but I did really appreciate listening to. I picked up a couple other albums of them even doing a studio version of parts of it. I don't think it was complete. I'm still trying to track that all down, but boy, they were fabulous. So that was one of the things that came out this week. And let's see. We had a couple other really famous tunes, except one was not by who you think it was. Vanessa put out a lesson on Autumn Leaves, a different tune than the standard by the Goo Goo Dolls. And then Max's version, and by the way, I spoke to Max recently, and because we've had some requests about getting lessons on like using a looper, and his lesson on Ain't Misbehavin' shows a perfect example of that. So that might get in the pipeline somewhere down the line as things evolve here as the year winds down. Anyway, so that was a little bit, that was kind of cool, his take on Ain't Misbehavin'. And then after a couple of years of screwing around, I finally got this done. I still can't play it very well yet. And that's way too fast. See? Don't rush it like this. Anyway, get the idea. Don't play it that fast, Neil. It sounds way better. A little slower. That's better. I have a lot of students who I have to tell, you got to slow that thing down because, and we get in the habit of, when we're first working on something, we can't do it fast enough. And so we're constantly thinking, I got to get this faster. Pretty soon, it's going way faster than it ever should, and that's terrible. Okay, so you got to turn off that accelerator sometimes and go back and listen to the original. I've done this a lot of times where I was working on a tune and I, plugging away for months or years, and then think, oh, now I'm getting close, but I didn't feel like I had it up to speed. Then I went back and listened to the original. It's a good example of that. It's too fast. Way better. But when I was first working on that, I thought I'll never be able to play it as fast as it goes on the record. But I forgot to listen to the record, and pretty soon I could. Well, maybe not pretty soon. Maybe a few years down the road. Okay, that's my philosophy for today, is slow things down. If you're going to play something like... Anyway, I think that's the end of that story. Had everything I wanted to talk about. We got in 4 cool songs this week, 2 instrumentals, and I guess I'm spending a lot of time working on instrumentals. I'm going to call Genesis, if I get to that soon. Well, it's an easy one to sing though too, so I don't know. Okay, I'll be back with some coming attractions. This may be a coming attraction. Probably not by next week, because I don't think I have it together yet. Uh-oh. Yeah, okay. I do have music to that I wrote out, but so I shouldn't even tease you with that because that's probably not coming out next week. But we do have some new stuff from Doug Young. We haven't had a lesson from Doug in a while. He's done a few great Beatles arrangements, some Dadgad arrangements, and he's got a Christmas tune coming out, Away in a Manger. Now, and he talks about something really interesting in this lesson because a lot of Christmas tunes have multiple melodies put to the same set of lyrics or the same story or the same poem. On my Christmas album from 30 years ago, I did a medley that included 2 different versions of I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day. Uh-oh. One of them goes like that. Anyway, two different melodies to the same song. So in my closing medley on my Christmas album, I had that. So anyway, Doug's version of Away in a Manger, sometimes known as the Cradle Song, because it's a different take than what we traditionally grew up with here in the United States. That's not the one he's doing. So, anyhow, that's coming up. Vanessa is working on a lesson from the Corrs, Breathless. That is, so we got a couple of theirs. At least she's done at least one, maybe. I'm pretty sure. And Bob, we got a lesson coming from Bob on an instrumental take on Under the Bridge. So people, get your, you instrumental guys out there, get get ready, because we got another thing to go along with his 25 or 6 to 4 and living for the city and come together. So maybe someday we'll get him to do a Steely Dan tune. Forget all those chords. Man, I haven't played this in a couple months. Oh, there we go. All right, never mind. Let me not digress into that. When I'm working on songs that I'm really excited by, like The Great Gate at Kiev and The Promenade and Sleigh Ride especially, everything else like disappears right off the stove, and that's not a good thing. So anyway, that is it. I hope everybody has a safe and quiet, small Thanksgiving as we head into the last week here of November. Well, almost the last. We got one more day in November, heading off into the Monday of the week after. But we're expecting to see maybe just the immediate family. It's usually about a 20-person setup here. I think we're going to be down to about 6, maybe 8, and maybe all in different rooms. But again, good news on the medical front. Might change a lot of that in the next 6 months, we hope. So, okay, keep playing. Wait, I also listened to an album last night that has been off my radar. Palermo Snow, John Renmorn album. Got some great instrumentals on there. You know, it's like I've had it since he gave it to me when he was last here, many years ago. And probably put it on once in the background and got caught up doing other stuff. We just don't make time as much time, at least as we used to, like when I was younger, to sit down and listen to music. You know, it's the TV. There's too much to do on TV. But lately, the last couple of weeks, I've been doing that. Been listening to an album. A couple nights ago, it was Focus, Hamburger Concerto. Same thing. I sat there kind of glued for 35 minutes, I mostly listen to Birth and Hamburger Concerto. Okay, enough rambling, but listen to more music and make more music. Might be back next week. I'm not sure yet what Thanksgiving week is going to hold for us on Friday, but if not, first week of December.